Hello boys and girls, this is Underseal of course, and welcome to another Battlefield 3 video. Haven't made a Battlefield 3 video in a couple of days, not because I haven't got any gameplay, I actually got some gameplay stored up, some good ones, but mostly because I haven't had anything to talk about. To be honest, I mean, there hasn't happened anything in my life recently, the last couple of like the last 1.5 weeks, that it has any kind of significant worth, or I haven't had any topics I want to talk about really, and there hasn't really been any Battlefield 4 news. So I went to my trusty helper, Anders brevlåda, or Anders mailbox as you say in English. If you want to send in a question or a topic for me to talk about, you can do that by checking out the link in the video description. Send an email there, but simply I went there and read a couple of emails, and this one caught my eye, and it says, "Hey Anders, can you talk about, I don't know how to spell it, but dyslexia, exclamation mark, cause for me, as a pretty long time subscriber, not like the sense of the first video, but like when you started to not play your single player world anymore, I was subscribed in like the 5 to 6 last episodes you made of it." Okay, that didn't really make sense to me that much, to be honest, and that's also kind of why I picked it. It's a really good topic, and I think this guy who sent me this has dyslexia himself. So dyslexia is probably something you heard people talk about if you ever complained about my spelling on a video or in a comment or in a video description, and that is actually basically a sickness that makes you spell bad. It's not a sickness in the way that like your poop is green or you have 5 fingers, I was about to say, but 6 fingers or 6 toes or something like that, but it simply makes it very hard for you to learn how to read or write, and it affects your ability to simply do that the rest of your life. And that is also why many people might get really angry because they already know about this. If you have ever complained about my spelling or my writing in a video, saying something similar like, "Hey Anders, you stupid Swedish guy, can't you write English, you idiot, it's not spelled like that, it's spelled like this." I do not like that, of course, because that's just a mean way of saying it, but I don't mind if people actually tell me that I've spelled, especially like a title, the wrong way. Then I just fix it and say thank you for telling me about it. But some people can just be dicks, and they simply think that because I'm a Swedish guy, that's why I spell English badly and I have bad grammar, but it has nothing to do with that. I spell Swedish just as bad, and my Swedish grammar is just as bad when it comes to writing. So even if all my video descriptions would be in Swedish, you would still find just as many flaws, if not more even, because English language is actually a little bit easier than the Swedish language, believe it or not. Swedish language is quite a hard language to learn, even if you live in Sweden, especially if you have dyslexia. But dyslexia is, as I said, makes it hard for you to read and write, or just one of them. It kind of depends from person to person. It also depends from person to person how badly it affects you and your life and your ability to learn how to read and write. Some people like me have a very mild case of it, if I don't know if that's the right word to use for it, but I would call a mild case, because I can write and I can spell or read, but it is not very good. I would say maybe like a first grader. Some first grader might even spell and write better than me, and read better than me, I mean. But some people that have dyslexia might have it way better. I mean, even if they train their entire life, they might not even be able to spell their own goddamn name, to be honest. That's how bad it can be for some people. But as I said, it varies a lot, so I can't really speak for everyone, but mine is a very mild case of dyslexia, so I'm kind of fortunate. And if you want to know more, just Google it, because to be honest, I don't know much about it. I don't really want to know that much about it, because all I know is that I can't really do much. I've had thousands of hours of education spent to fix it, and all it has given me is basically the ability to read like a first grader and spell like a first grader, and not even as good as a first grader in some cases. Some first graders are gonna be spelling better than me and read better than me. That's just the sad fact about it. But it doesn't mean your life is over. However, it did feel like my life was over when I get to know this when I was a kid. It was during first grade, actually, like I think the second or third month of the first grade in school. I had really good time in school until I kind of noticed that this guy, he spells kind of badly. We need to have him checked out. So a specialist was called to my school from the capital of Sweden, came a couple of weeks later, and basically after an hour sitting down with me doing different tests, said like, yeah, this guy has dyslexia. And oh, yes, you guys know, there's actually a special clip after this match ends, just a nice killing spree that I wanted to show you guys, so I can actually keep talking a little bit. But yeah, I said that I had dyslexia, and that meant that I had to go to like special teachers and stuff like that, and I hated that. I even had to do it during recess a lot of the time. Like when the other kids were out playing, I had to go to the special teacher and learn how to write and read. So yeah, that kind of sucked. And of course it didn't make school easier in any way, it just made it harder, especially since I already was the fat kid with glasses, but now I was the stupid kid with glasses. But as I said, it has nothing to do with intelligence. I think even, don't quote me on this, but I think people in general that have dyslexia actually have a higher IQ than people that don't. This might not be true, this is just something I've been told, this is not something I've googled or seen with my own eyes, so to say, but it wouldn't surprise me. I think Einstein had dyslexia, the Swedish king has dyslexia, so don't think people are stupid just because they have dyslexia. But of course, kids are cruel. I was a cruel kid, most kids are cruel, and I was basically the fat, stupid, four-eyed guy with glasses, or yeah, a fat stupid guy with glasses, simply. That was kind of me as a kid, and that made school very boring and very sad many years. But I mean, like, now as an adult it doesn't affect me that much, especially with computers and spelling aids and stuff like that, and people simply don't give a shit anymore. It was more important 20 years ago to be able to spell and read correctly than it is right now. So I would say, if any of you guys watching this have dyslexia and you're a kid or a teenager, don't be afraid, don't be sad, it's okay, just go to your special aid teacher. It's gonna be boring, it's gonna suck a bit, but trust me, life is gonna get better. Anyways, that's me signing off. As usual, thank you guys for watching, have a wonderful day, bye bye.